What school are you guys from? JTA, all right. So I'm Zarius Hildebrand. I don't know where Logan went. Oh, Logan's all the way back here. And this is the automotive program here at EC3. Some of the big things we focus on here are our automotive industry, or our ASE certifications. That stands for Automotive Service Excellence. So the seniors, we don't have a senior class right now, but us four right here are all seniors. And after Christmas break, we are taking that test, and hopefully all of us pass. A big thing that can lead to for us is our big internships that SWOPE provides us. So SWOPE has provided all of these demos. As you guys can see, who knows what a Toyota Supra is? A couple of us. All right, so this is a 2JZ engine. It came straight out of a Toyota Supra. They blew it up, and SWOPE decided to build it back up as a demonstration. As you guys can come on this side, you can see all the moving parts that it has. So SWOPE offers a couple of us seniors, like everyone in here right now, we are getting offered internships here for SWOPE. So we can work for SWOPE half a day, be there, get the learning experience from a real dealership, and then we come back to here and learn more about cars. I'm going into collision personally. Logan said he wants to go into the Ford, and then Ben said he's going to get wherever he can. So this is the shop. This is where half of your learning experience will be. We spend about half of our time in there learning about the stuff. So electricity, how an engine works, how transmissions work, all that stuff. And then you come out here and then you really learn about it. We have cars that have been donated to us out in the parking lot, and for every topic that you're doing, we go over those cars. Logan, do you want to mention a little bit about all the cars and everything we go over?
All right, so you're going to work on 3 types of cars in this program. Behind me here, both of these gray cars are what's called client cars. So those are people in our community that have trusted us with their vehicles. They bring them to us, and this gray one right here, the Camry, is in here for steering. It needs a new power steering system and a new steering rack. The Nissan in the back came in for an ignition issue. It had a misfire to it, clicked a little bit. And then you've got what's called, you'll have your friends' cars, other students' cars. This red Honda up here is actually a kid in our 4th and 5th block class. His name's Jesse. He brought his car in, new suspension all the way around, new exhaust, wheels, tires, brakes, and gaskets in his engine. And then you've got your teacher's cars. So Mr. Pitt owns the black Firebird and the white Suburban that our other 2 seniors are over there wrenching on right now. So you'll work on all kinds of different vehicles owned by different people, but you're going to do something different with every vehicle. So your engine and trans over there on the Blazer, we're doing a full engine swap on that. We did steering and suspension on Jesse's car. We're doing steering back here on this gray Camry. On the Nissan in the back, it's a straight ignition issue. All right, the black Firebird over there, they put a motor in it. Wiring harness was shot. So we're rebuilding a wiring harness for the black Firebird. The white Suburban in the back is coming in for a power steering pump. And this black truck, we pushed it in. We don't know. When you hit the key, nothing happens. So we have to dive into that truck, use the problem-solving skills that you learn in this class. It'll teach you different ways to look at things, different ways to look at problems, different ways to solve issues. That truck right there is probably the prime example of it. Because when you hit the key, no lights, no nothing. We have to dive all the way into the electrical system, the fuel system, the air management, the power management, the ECM, figure out what's going on with that truck, diagnose the problem, figure out why the problem occurred, and then prevent it from happening again.
So I'm going to say one of the bigger benefits of here is the amount of work hours you get in this shop. Like I said, you spend about an hour in here, and the rest of your time is out here working on cars. So how many car people are in here right now? Raise your hand for me. All right, we got a couple. All right, 4 guys. Okay, so if you're really into automotive things, this is going to teach you everything you really need to know. There's 10 ASE certifications that we have, and right now we're about to get our first one hopefully at the end of this month, and they're really beneficial to us. A good thing about this is if you're not sure if you're into automotive, if you're not sure into welding or any other programs here, it's a class. Just like that, you can drop the class if you want to. If you're not interested in it, you can. I originally did not start off in this automotive program, but here I am teaching you guys about it because I really and thoroughly enjoy this program. Give me a second. Logan.
The best part about this program is the way you learn. All right, a lot of your classes, especially when you get into like freshman year, you're going to have a PowerPoint or a teacher that stands there, tells you what your content is. You take notes on it, you're good. All right, Mr. Pitt will give you a PowerPoint in the classroom. He'll go, all right, this is a visual of how it works. This is the basis of it. This is the theory behind it. And then you'll come out here and you'll get with our visual tools. You'll have superchargers, turbochargers. You've got a full engine and transmission cutaway right there that'll show you how that all works. And then you'll come out here, the 5.4 Trident motor on the engine stand, y'all walk past on your way in here, Me and Zarius tore that apart and rebuilt it one day in the class. So we understood how an engine goes together, and when you take it apart and you put it back together, you understand what moves with what. You understand how it all goes together, what's all necessary to be, in one unit. And you're gonna dive into that with everything from suspension, like on Jesse's car, to electrical over on the Firebird. You're gonna take everything apart, you're gonna put it all back together, and you're gonna learn it in whatever way you need to learn it.
I'm going to encourage everyone in here to obviously go into automotive because that's the program I'm in and that's what I'm most passionate about. But also, I'm going to encourage you guys to at least try something out here in this school. There's a lot of great programs that we have. We have welding, medical, culinary, and automotive. Those are the 4 main ones that we focus on here, but there's also a couple side ones such as air and space. I said medical. So there's really good programs here, and I think there's something here for everyone. If you guys are interested in everything, talk to your counselors about it. Ask them about it. Personally, you can take this class sophomore year. We currently have sophomores in there as of now, and they're basically going over the basics of automotive. So tools, how to lift a car, how to jack up a car, how to change oil, everything like that. Me, Logan, Ben have had our cars in here countless times for them to do stuff on them. Like they did bolt checks on our cars, everything like that.
Another part about this program is just looking around. You can see the different stages different students are in. This is actually a short block that our teacher owns. He tore it all the way down, and this is somebody's project to put back together. All right, we've got wheels and tires over there that our sophomore class are working on right now. All right, we've got Jesse's car, right? I personally haven't really messed with Jesse's car. That's Jesse's project. That's on him. We've got different projects for different people. So when you figure out what you're good at, you're good at it. We've got Cameron. He's around here somewhere. He's huge into high performance. He internshiped at a high performance shop over the summer. So we have turbo cars come in. You've got supercharger cars come in. That's kind of his specialty. Mason was the other senior we got walking around. He works on diesel semis right now. So we have anything diesel that comes in. That's kind of on him. Zarius is a big import guy. You've got cars that come in from overseas, your brand new Toyotas, your Nissans, all that stuff. That's kind of on him. I'm a big domestic guy. I love high performance, big, loud, in your face kind of stuff. Stuff like the Firebird really draws to me. Ethan, he does professional audio on the side. So when it comes to electrical systems and components, that's really on him. There's nothing Ben can't do. Ben will throw a wrench at anything and try to figure it out. So you're really going to learn and kind of diverse yourself, and you're going to jump into other career paths. When we're going over electricity, I had a buddy that took this class. He graduated the year before last. Electricity clicked with him. When we went over the electricity system in this class, it all made sense. He's now over working at Nolan RECC as a lineman because that all connected for him. All right, you're going to go into all kinds of things like that. You're going to jump into a little bit of hydraulic systems. All right, you're going to jump into electrical. You're going to jump into water fluid. All right, when you've got an engine, you have to keep it cool. So you've got to understand how water works, how pumps work, how systems like that work. So it's going to teach you not only how vehicles work, but how you work. How you learn, how you visualize things, how you jump into other aspects of it.
A big thing that we have here, like I said, is the amount of shop hours you get here. So we spend hours out here. Us 4 seniors right now are here all day, every day, working on cars. And then next trimester, hopefully we're over at Toyota, Swope, the collision center, working on cars for them and leading hopefully to potential jobs for our future.
10 certifications you can get. You've got engine performance, engine management, HVAC, cooling systems, manual transmissions, automatic transmission, rear end and gearing, steering and suspension, brakes, and electrical systems. All right, you'll be fully trained in all 10 of those. When you walk out of here with those 10 certifications, that's it, you're done. Those are the same certifications you're gonna get if you pay EC3 for a 2-year degree. All right, you're gonna get the same experience and the same certifications for free, 100% right here. And like I said, Mr. Pitt, our teacher in there, he's an amazing teacher. He's gonna teach you in 3 or 4 different ways. So when it comes to those certifications, yeah, the PowerPoint might not have made sense to you, but when you came out here and you put it together, it's all gonna click in your head. So like when we take the automatic transmission test, if it's asking us questions about how fluid transfers, we might not have the visual in our head, but we did it. We took a trans apart and we understood, hey, it has to come from here, it has to come through the torque converter, it has to move and flush through the system and keep everything lubricated so it works. You'll understand that, and then when that question pops up, you knock it down. It's simple. So you're also looking at financially, this is an amazing program to go through. You're walking out of school, walking into an internship, making $8 to $12 an hour while you're in high school, right? Once you pass on to that, you become a full-time technician. You're starting anywhere between 20 and 25 with the possibility to go all the way up to 30, 35. By the time we're 19, 20 years old, we could be looking at making $35 an hour. So, all right, does anybody have any questions for us? All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your tour. We appreciate y'all hanging out.
Okay, so I'm Caitlin, and I am in the phlebotomy class right now. This is Blandon, and this is Maxton. All right, we're going to take you through the health science pathway. We're going to tell you all about all the classrooms and walk you through. They are having class right now, so we're going to keep it quiet, and it's a tight squeeze, so we're going to come in tight and say hello to our neighbors. So think about that. Please take care of it. It is firm and flexible, but it is not going to withstand some of the beatings that you give your body. Okay? All right. This is Miss Bowman's room. This is one of the classes where you can take your prerequisite classes for your health science pathway. We also have Mr. Reeser and Mr. Witzel across the hallway. In these classes, you'll take emergency procedures, principles of health science, and med term. You can start those your freshman year. You do get CPR certified in emergency procedures. And then your junior year, you can start anatomy and body structures. You do need all 4 of these classes in order to get over to your medical pathways, and you do have to pass them. Are there any questions about this room? Nope. Okay, we're going to go in here. There is going to be simulation blood and needles. The blood's not real. The needles cannot hurt you.
Okay, so this is where you would do your M&A class. M&A is basically you're just learning all about taking care of people, elderly people. And this class is very hands-on. You're learning all about, these mannequins. These mannequins are very detailed, so you'll be ready when you go over to the nursing home. Your clinicals are at the nursing home. They're 4-hour clinicals for 4 days. And after you pass all your tests and you get your clinicals done, you go to ECTC and you would take your state exam. The state exam is 75 questions, and it's 5 skills that you would have to do. So it could be hand washing, donning, doffing, vital signs, all that stuff. And then if you pass your exam, you can get licensed and get a job if you would like to.
Yeah, so this class is very hands-on. It's very physical. These rooms give you a lot of opportunity to practice. They're set up just like the nursing homes are. So these beds move, you use this stuff, these mannequins move. And once you pass your M&A exam, as a senior, you get the opportunity to go into the advanced nursing program, where you go over to the hospital and you shadow every department in the hospital for 2 days for about 6 weeks. Also, everything in here is free to you. So you take the state exam, it's free to you. If you were to take this anywhere else, it would be upwards of $700 for you to take this course. So it's a really good opportunity for you to get it in now. Any questions? Okay, we're going to go over here into this next room. Okay, so this is Miss O'Daniel's room. This room is offered to only seniors. You can take phlebotomy, EKG, and pharmacy in this classroom. This right here is our fake arm that we do draw blood from with real needles in phlebotomy class. This isn't real blood. You do use real needles, and you learn all the proper ways to draw blood with the specific equipment. You do practice on these arms to learn proper procedure, and then after you learn your procedure, you do stick your classmates, so you draw blood from each other in class. And then in your clinical hours, you do go over to the hospital and you draw blood from real patients that need their blood drawn.
Another class we have here is pharmacy, and in pharmacy we basically learn a lot about drugs. It can range from anywhere from the types of drugs to the side effects, to the routes, basically everything you need to know about drugs. It's not as hands-on as phlebotomy or EKG, but you do work at clinicals at Hart Memorial and Walgreens. You do actually fill out patients' prescription orders.
Our third class is EKG technician, and you learn how to work this machine right here. It reads the electricity of the heart. It tells you if there's anything wrong or if it's perfectly fine. Those over there are actual tracings of people's hearts. Every line is 1 heartbeat. Also in this class, you learn how to place those electrodes, or what they call. Your clinical day is a full day at the hospital. You take 5 EKGs on actual patients, and then you go to the rehab wing, and you get to work with people who are recovering from lung or heart surgery.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay, if your guide wants to take you through that exit door, we're done.
All right, so I'm Chris, this is Brooke, and in the back we have Grace. Where we're standing right now is WKU property. We loan out our area to WKU, and they own these 4 rooms right here, and they have their classes. So we have students from Campbellsville and Meade County and everything. They come in here to do their classes. Now, juniors in high school like me, Brooke, and Grace, we are early college academy students, and we do our classes in these 2. WKU lets us use these rooms to do our classes. And this is basically a central source for all students from ECTC, EC3, and WKU. and the vending machines you see behind us do work, and you can use them when your student's here. So now we're going to take you down to Media Arts.
I'm Miss Dunn, and this is Media Arts. You can stand up and just relax. This is a great place for creativity. So if any of you like to tell stories, this is the place to come. We are part of Hardin County HCEC-TV. That means that I know that most of you have seen students of some kind or another at a football game, a basketball game, a soccer game, a volleyball game, handling the cameras, at graduation, at the plays. That is you. If you're part of this program, that is you, okay? Also, this is very unique to this program because we're part of a TV station. The district has created a pathway for you to get paid. So at 15 years old, you raise your hand and say, Miss Dunn, I just turned 15. Can I have the hiring packet? I give you the hiring packet. You get that paperwork filled out. You have a bank account, and you can sign up for as many games as you'd like to work. And there you go. You get paid. A direct deposit check every month. One of our students right here last night, Kyler, came in and he told me this morning he got to be a producer for the first time, but he's one of our top earners, getting a paycheck. Okay, so you actually can get paid. We're the only pathway that ever you can do that with, but that's because we are actually part of the TV station. Also, we are something else unique to this program is we're a freshman intro class. Not all the pathways here let you come here as a freshman. Usually you will start as a sophomore, but we allow for freshman class. It's a great way to go in and dive into EC3 here as a freshman, figure out what that's like to get on a bus and leave your home school and come here and work and learn, right? Without, and you're kind of ahead of the game as a freshman. Also, we have a summer class. It's 10 days, 60 hours, 1 full credit. It will get you ahead of the game if you take advantage of that. By the time you were a sophomore, you're actually sitting in your 3rd credit. There's only 4 for the pathway to be a completer. You're sitting in there as a sophomore in your 3rd class already, and I have plenty of students that are actually handling 2 pathways at that point. I've got a health science and media arts welder, and I've got a welder up there, media arts. I've got a couple of IT, media arts. So if you take advantage of that, you can balance 2 pathways. But of course, that's time management. That's one of the important things that you have to learn how to do. You get here on attendance, behavior, and grades. We scrub your grades. We look at your grades. If you sign up for the class, just know that we look at all of your records and make a decision on whether or not we can invite you into the building. This is a professional work environment. It is a multi-use building. There are Western Kentucky classrooms here that have adults going to school here during the day. So you're not just with high school students. We also have adults going to college here at the same time. We also have the Johnston Hall, where you're getting ready to go and meet the principal, is full of a community all the time. Our culinary arts students cater to constant dinners and special events up there during the day. And so this is a professional work environment. So when you come here, your behavior, your attendance, and your grades will keep you here. Okay, the principal will 3 days miss bus, and you're in front of the principal. 3 days missed. 3 days missed here is 6 days. Remember, these are 2-hour blocks. Okay, so if you miss 1 day, you've missed 2. Okay, so that is critical. You can't recover. You can't recover. We've already filmed this on Friday, and if you weren't here, you weren't part of it. So now, what are you going to do? Because now you don't have the assets. You weren't part of the show, and everybody else is editing their package, and you don't have one because you didn't show up and you weren't one of the actors that you were supposed to be. So it's really critical that you're here. But there's so much fun opportunity here. The harder you work, the more you're handed opportunities. Like right now, the district is wanting us to do the work ethic standards. So they actually, this little group, this intro group, they actually scripted out the very first one, which is attendance and tardiness, and just practiced it a little bit on Friday, filmed it, and now they're editing. And I just gave them a new website to look for some new music, some music that we, pay for, so they can, because it has to be copyright free. Also, Elizabethtown Police Department's reached out this past week. They're looking for us to do some new Crime Stopper videos for them, and that kind of opportunity and real fun stuff ends up landing in the lap of the people that work hardest, are always saying, okay, Ms. Dunn, I'm done with that. What else can I do? Go grab this story. Go do this. And we're always looking for those hard-charging people that are signing up, raising their hand, going out, getting a story, bringing them back, and stuff. So that's what it is. We're a newsy business. We're in the news, right? So you got to go find the news. That's what this is about. I don't know what else. Any questions? Any of you all are journalists? Any of you on newspaper, yearbook? I usually have yearbook people in here. Okay, it's a great compliment to that. Newspaper people, great compliment. Creative writing, those that are like the creative writing path, that kind of thing, that you just kind of like. And of course, this is just creative. This is using that other side of your brain and having fun. We don't just do news. You do have to do news. You have to do a couple of PSAs, public service announcements each trimester. But I also give you, if you've hustled up and got all those done and they're on point, and you're showing your work ethic, then there's time to build in a short film, and then you can get really creative and do the short film, which is always kind of fun to do. But just remember, as a freshman, you can sign it. It's a good way to get into EC3 as a freshman. This pathway, and I think maybe health sciences, they've opened up an intro class for them. But everybody else, you have to wait until you're a sophomore. Like you have to have digital literacy before you can go to IT. You can't just walk in here as a freshman without digital literacy first. So you have to have that. That schedule has to be built that way. Okay, so those of you wanting gaming, which is, building games and doing all that kind of stuff over here, networking and all that, there's an intro requirement that you have to have before you can take his class. So you just got to keep that in mind as you're scheduling, okay? Let your counselors know. The last thing I'll say is your electives are the only thing you get to choose. The state chooses all your cores for you. So choose wisely. Nobody wants to sit in an art class and you hate to draw. So choose your electives. What you think you might like to do, explore, do that exploring. And if you don't like one pathway, do it for 12 weeks and say, that's not really for me. Maybe I'm going to go try this, and then do that. Find one that you can stick with and really enjoy, okay? Because it's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a whole different kind of environment here. Yeah, and we love having you.
So, I'm Roy Wickware. This is the IT pathway that we have here in EC3. So, this is the main room where you do most of your classwork and study for 2 out of the 4 courses that we have here to offer. And here is game design and programming. And then the back room over there will be networking and security. We try to crank out as many certifications as possible because certifications here are free. But if you were to do it outside, say at the college down the road or at WKU, they'll cost anywhere between $100 to $200 per test, even if you fail. So we try to crank it out. This is a self-driven class. So you may come in here for game design, but you could also learn how to do security or networking on your own. We have 15 different Google classrooms for it, all at your free will. This IT program here has a sister program called Girls Who Code for any girls that want to get into coding. You're not just limited to that class. You can come in here and go out there, or vice versa. We've had people tell us that certifications are more valuable than a person with a 4-year degree. So if you were to come here, crank out 5 to 10 certifications, and then go straight to the workforce, you have a higher chance of getting a job than someone with a 4-year degree and no certifications. I believe that's about it for here. So if you would ever so kindly go to the back, we have some stuff that we have programmed. We have a little computer building place, and we'll kind of show you what we've done over the year.
I'm Isaiah Davis. I work back here in this back room. Back here, you're going to be doing game design, computer programming, and if you pass the certifications, you come back here and study. If you guys look right here, we have a bow bot. This is the first bot you guys will be programming in the computer class. It uses a whiskers program in which these metal prongs touch an object, and if it detects an object in front of it, it will turn around and try to find a free space. We also have these nifty tools called Spheros. We got these a week ago. You guys probably already played with these. They are a simple robot that uses a mobile application to run. You can also program using block-based programming, which we have on Scratch back there with the soccer game. And then we also have a computer setup over there in which one of our attendants can show you how to build a computer. But at this time, I'm going to let you guys look around the classroom and experience how it is in the back room. I'll have my phone up ready for you guys to play with. So if anyone wants to play, they can come up here and play with the phone, play with the Sphero at any time. You guys can, this is a time to go around, ask questions, and see what it's like back here. So if you guys want to play with Sphero, then here it is. You want to play with it? Do you know how to work this one?
I don't know, dude. Y'all play
Play the ball now, Eliza.
I made it purple.
Oh, yes. Swear, man.
Oh. See, look, I almost hit that, but I did.
Get out of my way.
Oh, wait. Put it.
Where are you going?
That way or
Other way.
you want the pins facing down?
Pins facing down. The triangle. Triangle? Yep, triangle. You'll kind of
Wiggle it around.
It in?
Yep, it's in.
Yep. All right, now push that down. Yep, all the way. Until you feel it click. Down, down. Yep. All right, install the CPU. All right, so this is RAM. All right, all you got to do is align that nut with this. Make sure it's in one of the slots. All right, push down until you hear 2 clicks. 1, 2. All right, that's RAM. That's how you do it. All right. So next we have the hard drive. All right. So find a cable that kind of looks like that L right over here. That goes to this, the bigger one.
I'm extremely blind and I'm horrible at finding things.
Yep. Now plug it in. Just flip it. All right. Perfect. Now slide it in right above the others. Yep. Release. Put it in the hard drive. Perfect. That's kind of what we have to show.
I have a fan.
This is the heatsink, or well, CPU cooler. So we would get this thermal paste. We're not going to put it on because it's expensive and it's kind of a waste. It's hard to clean off. Very. So when you use thermal paste, you put a little tiny dab on top of the CPU. Then you get the cooler, set it on top, like so. This is a lever one, so it's kind of weird.
You've never figured that one.
I don't have one of these. All right, locks into place, like so. Now it's on. Now this little pin, you think you could show me where it goes?
If I could, right here.
Yep. That's one of the places you could do it. Actually, it goes right there. So that goes to USB. You know, when you plug in like something phone cord or less? Yeah, USB 3. So, USB 3. That's a big change. Yeah, for this one.
They must have.
Alright.
I think it's just labeled that as USB 3.
Maybe. But it looks like it's
CPU fan right there.
Alright, never mind. So fan 1. It does go over there. You have to flip it. Alright, so this goes on the hard drive as well. So if we're going to pull the hard drive out again, see how it has the smaller L? This has the smaller one. This is the one that actually transferred the data. This one's the power. So we simply plug it in like we do the others. And then we put it back. Here on the motherboard, we have this little data transfer. I can't remember the SATA cable. So this, try to find out where this kind of goes.
Could go. What do I look for?
That L shape.
You see the L shape? It's going to be one of these four. See how it has the L? And then you can kind of see the little knot. Simply find whichever one, push it in, and now it would fit in. And that is kind of how you build a PC.
Alright, my name's Renee. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about our program here. So the first class you can take in welding is basic welding, and that's what this class is right now for this period. What you'll learn in basic welding is how to stick weld, MIG weld, and then you'll even get into cutting a little bit. For stick welding, here's some examples of the rods we use. These are 6010s, these are 7018s. Your grade is pretty much made up of performance tests. This is an example of a 7018 T-joint. That would be a test that you turn in every Friday. Your grade is also made up of your participation points, and that's pretty much if you're showing up to class every day, if you're wearing the right clothes. We gotta have jeans, boots, long sleeve T-shirts, 100% cotton. We gotta have our safety glasses on us at all times when we're in the shop. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Our basic final project is this toolbox right here. We learn how to cut it out, weld it together, and then you can paint it however which way you want to. After basic, you'll move into classes like stick, cutting processes, MIG, and then TIG is the last class you can take. In those classes, you just get more into detail with things, and that's when you can start earning your certifications. And those certifications will help you get better jobs as soon as you graduate. We do make a lot of projects in this class. That sign that he was holding up, that's one that he made. He powder coated that himself too with the oven out there. We'll show you when we go out. There is a bunch of kids working on roses. And those are actually turning out pretty cool. They're making them as Christmas gifts for their girlfriends or their moms or whatever. We worked on that Christmas tree that you see right there. It's a little ghetto, but it was fun to make. Yeah, there's always something to do in this class. There's never like a whole lot of downtime. Even if we have free time, there's lots of projects that we do, like personal projects. There's a kid that's making rings right now too. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, especially like the more advanced class you're in, the more time you spend here. So I'm here for first and second and fourth and fifth. So you make a lot of friends and you guys get pretty close. So yeah, I enjoy it a lot. Okay, alongside there and alongside over here, those are our booths. We all get our own individual booth that we keep up with and we clean every day after class. Right here, these are our acetylene torches, and that's where we do a lot of our cutting. Back there, there's the plasma cutter, and Pike, he made, if you guys went to Christmas in the Park, I know he made the Hardin County School sign and one of the welcome signs. That's also another one of the signs we made. Back there is our iron worker. That's another tool we use to cut metal, and our cutting saw. Over there is the oven we use for the powder coating. Yeah, back there at the tables is where we do a lot of our grinding and our polishing. You guys saw how on the Christmas tree the metal was polished out, and that's where we do that. Those tools are kept in the tool room over here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Does anyone have any questions? Sorry? Inside one of the booths? Are we allowed to show them inside the booths? Yeah? Is anyone interested in the program? It is pretty cool. There's lots of job opportunities in this pathway. We had a older student come back about 3 weeks ago. He's making $1,600 a week now, and that's without any college. That's straight out of high school. So that's really great. There's also co-op positions you can make up to $25 an hour, especially for you females if you are interested. It's a very male-dominated field, so they're always asking for females.
For any of the females interested in this group, there's scholarships out there that are willing to pay for you to go to school for free ride. All you have to do is show up, keep your grades up, and actually want to do your work. So I mean, there's it's a very male-dominant field, like she said. So a lot of the females that are in here that are interested, you're guaranteed more of a chance to get the job than like if I were to walk in a factory and a female walked in there. As long as we have the same certification, she's more likely to get the job than I am.
Is anybody interested in flying planes? You want to fly planes like a video game? He doesn't like to call it a video game, but he has a video game in there where you can fly a plane. Alright, so this is aerospace. There's no prereq classes for this class. You just come in your freshman year. I think it's your freshman year. Don't quote me on that. He'll tell you. I'm pretty sure it's your freshman year. And you start by learning about the founders of flight. You know, we talked about it in school. I forgot their names. Oh, what are their names? The Wright brothers. You know those? Y'all know those? Anybody? The Wright brothers? Yeah. But they didn't learn how to fly planes. So that's what he's going to talk about.
How you doing? I'm Mr. Rogers. This is aerospace or air and space, flight and aviation career path. So what you're going to do here, your freshman year, we're going to go into a lot of the history of aviation. We'll discuss the Wright brothers. We'll build some planes. We'll fly some paper airplanes. Not too many. All right. There will be things to learn. Your sophomore year, we'll get more into the actual fundamentals of flight. What causes planes to go up in the air? The physics behind it. A little bit of math. Not much. Don't worry. Just a little bit. Okay. Actually, how you create lift, which without you won't fly. So your junior year will be dedicated to getting your FAA Part 107 drone license, which will allow you to, one of the stepping stones you need to have a career in flying drones. You can use it to inspect railroad tracks, buildings, bridges, towers, all kinds of things. But before you can do that, the company's going to want you to have this certification, which you'll get provided you pass the test. Your senior year, we're going to try to work towards getting you your private pilot ground school certification, which is what you're going to need. One of the things you're going to need to do to become a private pilot, in addition to flying. So there is classroom work that goes along with that, whether you do it here or whether you do it at a certified flight school with an instructor. So some of the things we have, I got one of these, this right here. This is an actual piece of a plane, a fuselage, and you can come up here and take a look at it, and you can see, if you've never been on a plane before, this is actually how thin the metal is between you and the air or lack of air outside, depending on how high you are. And then what UPS stores and ships things on with their different aircraft. So you can come up here and take a look. We have different simulators for you to practice flight on with all different things that you're going to learn. Some of you have probably been on some of these before. We'll do a lot of fun things, and we'll learn a good deal. So, anybody want to fly? Yes. 1, 2, 3, go. Everybody else, come on around. We'll rotate you through. Go ahead, have a seat. Hands on the controls. Everybody push P. That's going to unpause you.
Where's P?
On the keyboard. Okay, just remember, in real life, there is no pause button.
Where am I at? I don't know. What are these?
What is GTA?
I get it.
Don't know.
How do I push on it to go down? I don't know. Where am I at?
Well, the graphics may not be that good, but the what happens when you move the controls and everything else is it's a good trainer.
Pull it out. Yeah, I'm going on Joe S. Oh. What do these do down here?
People keep messing with things. Sorry.
I'm so confused. Am I in space?
No, it's just night.
Oh. Where am I at?
You're over the water.
How do I get on land?
The video card is bad on that one, so there is no land. It's just water.
I should have picked that one.
Is yours moving? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What if I crash?
All right, everybody comes generally straight and level as much as you can.
What are these buttons do?
Push P. Push P.
I got your lesson.
Next 3.
Okay, really, Robert?
Really? That was you.
Take it off. All right, hands on the controls. Unpause.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Robert. Why? Did you? Barrel roll, barrel roll.
Crashing may seem cool, but it's really not. No. All right, stay generally level. All right, come on, there you go. Come back down.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Nagel. I'm the Project Lead the Way engineering teacher here at the Early College Career Center. How many of you liked the intro video there about Project Lead the Way? Some of the courses, some of the things that you could be doing in the course. Did y'all like that? Pretty cool stuff. Lots of hands-on. You got projects, problems, teamwork, collaboration, doing a lot of things with others and solving problems, right? How many of you like math and science? Quite a few people in there. So, quite a few people like math and science. Well, the Project Lead the Way kind of applies the math and science, those in technology and engineering, and it creates a really fun class. You're going to be taking classes next year at North Hardin. You're going to be taking your English, math, science, social studies, and what have you. And you get a chance to choose an elective course. You may want to choose the engineering pathway. It's called Engineering 1. We also call it Introduction to Engineering Design. It's in a lab type setting. It's a computer lab. You'll be doing 3D CAD modeling and maybe even 3D printing some of those models that you produce on the Autodesk Inventor. You'll learn the engineering design process, give you tools how to work with teams and solve problems. Go on and move into doing some computer programming, learning about simple machines, mechanics, and electronics, and give you a foundation, a good technology foundation, whether if you want to go down the road of engineering or if you even want to go into a medical field, science field. All those fields are good for this course. It's a good STEM technology engineering program, and it's hands-on. Projects, problems, and activities that, some things you don't always get to do in your regular classes. Sometimes it gets a little chaotic, just like you saw in the videos. A lot of teamwork and a lot of solving problems and having fun. Come on back to the back now. I'm going to let some of my students talk to you about the courses and do a little robotics demo.
So my name is Caleb Register. I'm from Central Hardin, and this is Josh Johnson. He's from North Hardin. And we are both engineering students. I've been in engineering for 4 years, and so has he. As your freshman, you'll be doing a lot of stuff with like motors and sensors, a lot of hands-on projects. That's a big part about engineering, is being hands-on, not sticking to the textbooks or the notebooks, but actually like building something. Your freshman year, you'll be doing a lot of sensors, like these push sensors or these gyro sensors. It's pretty cool. You'll also be able to make like a marble sorter out of these. And then into your like sophomore year, you'll do a lot more like a 3D CADing and online building. You can like design, and you can actually 3D print a puzzle cube and be able to put that together. And then you'll go into your junior year, which you'll be here with Mr. Nagel, the best teacher ever. And you guys will be able to do a lot more like soldering and actually like breadboarding like this. It's like what we put in like computers. This right here is like an alarm system to see if you have your seatbelt in, just using simple little codes. And then your senior year, it'll be like your big engineering project. We'll use your information from the past 3 years and actually try to create a completely new idea and a new project and completely print it out and actually program it and see if you can make it to work, and then you can actually sell it for real money. And then a big part of engineering behind in the back scenes almost is like Vex Robotics here, where we get to build and test our own robots in this like own game. And so if we want to, Josh here can run a little test. Ready, Josh? Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, I thought
one of the Culinary One students. This is our $1 million kitchen. It does have $1 million worth of merchandise in here. It is one of the nicest kitchens you will see. It is one of the best commercial kitchens in the whole state of Kentucky for most high school students. So if you take this opportunity to learn everything that you can learn in college, it would probably be the best opportunity for you if you're planning on moving into the culinary world. If not, I'm not planning on moving into the culinary world. I'm just taking this for fun because I like food. So I would like to know how to cook it as well. Yeah, I mean, everybody likes food, hey. And plus, you don't have to eat lunch food when you're here. You eat what you cook. So, but you do have to work for it in cleaning up after yourself. You have to do laundry on Fridays, and you do have to work caterings. But I promise you, it's not that hard. You learn along the way, and mistakes are okay too. So we're gonna just do a little loop through here. This is our walk-in refrigerator. It is 37 degrees in here. You do, you get to walk around in here.
Can we go to that 16? It's above freezing. I got a call.
Now our freezer is negative 16 degrees right now.
I don't do well in the cold.
So that door that you saw back there in the far back of the kitchen, that was our sub-zero freezer. It was negative 16 degrees in there currently. Sadly, you don't get to go in there because if you touch any metal, you will get burned. But over here, we do have our prep tables. This is where we prep all of our food before we go to the 6 burners and cook it. Our cutting boards are under here. There's some knives over here. So of course, there's a lot more over here. So this is our reach-in where we put all of our leftovers in. This is where we put all of our leftovers from after we're cooking because it's usually a small class. Right now, I think I only have about 13 classmates. So it's very small. You do get to cook a lot of food. This is our produce sink. So you do wash vegetables, pasta, strain things in there, but no hand washing. There is hand washing sinks on each corner of the room. And then this is our wall of chef knives. They're very sharp knives. You don't get to play with them today. Sorry. Yeah. You don't get to play with the knives today. Probably not. But these are multiple different sizes of pans depending on what you're cooking that day. And then these are all of our saute pans. This is our dish machine. It washes everything at 180 degrees. So everything that comes out of here is very hot and you do have to let it cool down or you will burn yourself. I've burned myself a couple of times. Now over here, close to this wall, this is our 6 burner. You will see a light on. Those are pilot lights. These are gas, so it makes it a lot easier to turn on so you don't have to light it with the lighter every day. That would be a real big pain if I had to light them every time I used them. This is our 3-compartment sink. This is where we wash knives, cutting boards, stuff like that. But never put a knife in soapy water because I have had a friend cut his hand open with a knife in soapy water. So just don't do that. Now, who likes making cookies, brownies, pastries, and stuff like that? So this will be definitely your side. There is cookie cutters. We're actually making cookies today. So, no, I'm sorry, but you guys can't make cookies. That's my job today. I'm excited to make them. So we do caterings. This is where we service people. So now if we had a catering where we had to make cookies for people, this could fit like 400 to 500 cookies. This is our walk-in oven. Don't actually walk in there. You might get stuck in there. I can't promise anything, but I won't lock you in there, I promise. Now that's our steamer over there. It can cook lots of mashed potatoes, boil water very quickly. So this can make brisket. This is a smoker. Most kitchens, you won't see a smoker. So this is pretty cool too. And then this is our deck oven, also known as a pizza oven. So if you like making pizzas, you can make many pizzas in here. And then our locker room is just over there. That's where everybody changes. So this is where I got into my full uniform. Women's are on the right, men's on the left. This is our uniform. You do have to wear chef pants, our jacket, and a cap to keep your hair out of food. It's not a very cute uniform, trust me, I know, but I still want to rock it every day. So don't insult me today, not about it. You also have to wear your non-slip shoes because over by that dish machine, I don't know if you could tell, it was very slippery over there and it can cause injuries. But I don't know if I told you guys, but you do have to have a ServSafe certification in this class. So ServSafe is a 1-hour class every day for 11 weeks. And and then when you want a restaurant job, you can get to management a lot quicker, higher pay, plus it's very easy and just memorization.
Welcome to EC3. I'm Dan Robbins. I'm the principal here. I know some of your classmates are still kind of out touring, but they were on a late bus. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you all a little quick and just kind of give a recap of what you all saw today, talk about some of our other things we got going on, and then as well as then just kind of tell you how that you can get here if you're wanting to pursue EC3. So here at EC3, I want you all to understand that everything that you saw today is available for you all. It's for high school students. All the students that you saw in classes today are high school students. All the students that gave you tours today and talked to you were high school students. I think that there seems to be some mystery out there that people think, oh, it's because it's called early college. People think it's college students. No, we're high school students. But we get our name in that we have early college access, all right, and then we also have career opportunities. Now, how many of you know that there's kind of some extra stuff going on when you all go to high school that you all are required to do to graduate? Anybody heard some kind of talk about it? So not only do you have to get all your credits for graduation, but there's kind of this extra category that you have to get as well. Well, one of the things that's in that extra category is for you to, if you wanted to choose this, is to complete 4 courses in a pathway. Now, completing 4 courses in a pathway is the easiest way to get that extra mark for graduation. Okay, so the things that you saw today, there are 4 courses in every one of those pathways that you can take. You pass those, and then that takes care of that extra box that you need for graduation. Another thing that goes along with that to get the extra box is to pass an industry certification. So again, all the pathways that you saw here today have an industry certification that go along with it. And so if you pass that industry certification, that also checks the box. Now, some of those things that are out there sitting that some students may think, well, it's really easy, I could do that, could be passing all of the benchmarks on the ACT. But not everyone's a great test taker, right? And so we understand that, and so that may be a little more difficult for some people to obtain. But passing 4 courses in a pathway is not. That's the easy one. Now, all the things that you saw here, they're available to you, but understand that there's other classes that are available to you all as well at North Hardin. The classes in agriculture, business and marketing, family consumer sciences, or ROTC. Those are other pathways that you can pursue versus coming here to EC3. And so it doesn't matter to me if you come here to EC3 or not. We'd love to have you if that's something you want to do. But I am going to encourage you to take on some pathway. So make sure that you do something. And that process will start very soon. That's why you all are here today. Scheduling will happen when we get back from winter break. You all will begin the process to schedule. I hope that you take what you saw today and you take it home, talk it over with your parents, talk it over with your friends, talk it over with teachers and your counselors and all of those people. Talk it over. This shouldn't be something that you keep to yourself. But I want the decision that you make from what you hear today, or what you've heard today, and when you go to visit at North Hardin, to be your decision. Not a decision that you make because your buddy said to take this class. Or not a decision that you make because your boyfriend or your girlfriend is taking that. All right? Make sure that it's a decision that you feel good with. Not because you're going to be locked in. We're not looking to try to lock you into anything. But like I said, our goal is to try to get you through 4 courses in a sequence. So if we think about those 4 courses in a sequence, that's 1 class every year of high school. Now, some of our pathways here at EC3, you can come as a freshman. Anybody here remember one of the pathways that you can come as a freshman? Raise your hand if you have one. Yeah, cinematography, media arts. You can come as a freshman here at EC3. What about another one? Culinary. You can come as a freshman. Any others? What other pathways can you start here at EC3 as a freshman? Health sciences. Health sciences. Air and space, thank you. The other pathways such as automotive, welding, those are sophomore level courses. Okay, you can come as a sophomore, you can take our basic class. Pathways such as engineering, you can start as a freshman, but it starts at North Hardin. You do your first 2 years of engineering pathway at North Hardin, and you come here for your last 2 years in the engineering path. The IT path is another one. You can start that at North Hardin, and then you can come here to finish it. Is there any other pathways? Anybody that's really been thinking, did I miss a pathway? Anyone? Okay, that's one that's offered at North Hardin. But did I miss a pathway that you all saw today that I didn't mention just now? Anyone? So our academy pathway. So the academy pathway is another one that you can jump into. That's where our students are at early college. All your students that took you around today, that gave you the tour, they are part of our academy program. So they're high school juniors, but they're also in their first year of college here at ECE3. So they're taking on college classes as a high school junior, and they can graduate high school with their 2 years degree in college from ECTC. And they do all of that for 1/3 of the tuition. Now, I know that you all may not think, well, what's 1/3 of the tuition? But mention that to your parents, and your parents will get very excited. But it's not necessarily a pathway for everybody. It is challenging. It is probably the most difficult pathway to get in because you must meet ACT benchmarks. There's no way around it. You've got to get those college benchmarks to get in. The other thing that you must do to get into that pathway is be in advanced level math. So anybody in here already taken Algebra 1? Yeah, I know there's several of you all. So taking Algebra 1 right now, that means when you go to high school, you're going to be finishing that last part of Algebra 1, and then you'll jump into geometry as a freshman. Then your sophomore year, you'll take Algebra 2. Then that at least has the course sequence. Now, if you're not in that level of math, but you think, you know what, I think I can work hard to get there. I can do it. So then you go in your freshman year, you just take your honors level Algebra 1, and then your sophomore year, you double up, and you take geometry and Algebra 2. Now, along the lines, obviously, you want to make sure you take the ACT because that's going to be a major component to get in. But you can get into that. And that early college, the academy program, it's kind of nice. They're on a college schedule. They take classes on Monday, Wednesday, and they take classes on Tuesday, Thursday. And they don't have classes necessarily on Friday unless maybe they have a science lab. And they use their extra time to study, to stay ahead. And every one of our students, they're involved in several things at their home high schools, whether they play basketball, play football, they're in the band, they're in choir, they're in other clubs, Beta Club, Pep Club. They do several different things. And I want to make sure you understand that when you come to EC3, and it doesn't matter what pathway you choose, you are still going to graduate from your high school, North Hardin High School. You are a Trojan. Okay, you just come here for classes. It's like I have PE class in the gym. I go there to take the class. That's all you're doing. You're just coming to EC3 for a class. Now, if you all were just coming in here, you all saw students coming in on the buses. Our students are transported here from all 3 high schools on a bus. Some students choose to drive, and they're allowed if they have driving privileges. They just have to get a parking pass, and they're allowed to drive here. It's their gas. No one's going to reimburse them for that. That's their choice. But our students can choose to do that as well. So getting to and from EC3, again, that's just part of your school day. Students come here in the morning, maybe first and second period. They may come just third period, or they come in the afternoon, fourth and fifth. We offer breakfast here, and we have lunch as well. So don't get that confused. Understand that when you come to EC3, you're still part of your home high school. You're just coming here to take courses. All right? Some of our students, and I'll kind of almost answering some questions that you may have. Some kids ask a lot of times about some of the pathways and maybe what type of money they might be able to make if they finish that pathway. So I'd like to share the example of the one that probably sticks out the most, and it's with welding. So welding is a tough career, but you get paid a lot of money for it. So we had a student come back just this school year and wanted to share out the type of money that he was making as an 18-year-old that just graduated high school. So our program, our teachers tell all the time, oh, you can make this kind of money. You make $20 to $25 an hour, probably starting out with the ability to make more. So when you make that kind of money, what does it mean in a paycheck? Well, the student came back and he brought paycheck stubs. And so one of his paycheck stubs for 1 week, after the government takes their taxes and all that good stuff, was $1,200. Is that a lot of money? Yeah. You can go home and ask your parents, is $1,200 a week a lot of money? I'm going to tell you right now that $1,200 a week is more than most people make after being in their job for several years. Okay? Now, he works a lot of hours and he travels. And so because he was traveling, he decided to purchase a camper to pull behind his new truck that he bought. Now, why would he want a camper to pull? So he doesn't have to get a hotel. So when he goes and he travels to these places and he's working, they put him up in a hotel. They give him something they call per diem for that, to pay for that hotel room. But instead he takes that money and he pockets it. That's more money for him. But he has a camper that he stays in. That's his own. Doesn't have to worry about what bed he's sleeping in every night. It's his. So it's just being smart with your money. Obviously that's something that we want you all to do. Financial literacy is going to be a major component. Everyone's going to have exposure to that before graduating high school as well. But all of our programs have some certification that go along with it. Whether it's making $20 to $25 an hour if you use it, making $12 or $13 an hour, it's your choice. I'm here to tell you that you do not have to go to college for 4 years to be successful. Okay? But the way that today works, and the way that our world works, you probably need specialized training. And we give you the jump start to specialized training here in our pathways. Okay? So I want to make sure that everyone understands that. We want you to be able to make the decisions, to think about what it is that you want to do, because when the scheduling time happens, that you can make those choices for that schedule and that pathway. What questions do you all have from your visit today? I know that our tour guides, there's still some of them here, they do a really good job of giving you information. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. So what questions that you might have had that you didn't get answered while touring today that you might have about coming here to EC3 and taking courses? Yes, now I need you to stand up. This is how we do it. We stand up so you can speak loud.
Is there other EC3s like in America other than this?
Yeah, so we have several. So EC3, when we built this here, we weren't even the first in Kentucky. There's still other places out there that are doing it. Our next county over, Meade County, just kind of built something similar to ours. One of our models that we looked after was down in Scott County, a place called Elkhorn Crossing. So EC3 is ours, and we made it what we wanted it to be. But there are others, even here in Kentucky. Go ahead, back here. How many courses can you take here? So I think probably the question is pathway. So if you're interested in maybe taking more than one pathway, something along that line. Yeah, so you can take more than one pathway here at EC3. We have some students that may be, for instance, in automotive and IT, and you can choose to take both. Typically, when you come here the first time, you'll take one course, one trimester, either in the morning or the afternoon. Okay? So high school, we operate on a trimester. So right now, we're in the second trimester in high school. They operate every 12 weeks. So they started it like November 13th, somewhere in that range. And so they've only been here for about 4 weeks. So those students are here right now. They're taking one class for 2 periods. They get 1 high school credit. And then they're usually done for the year. Now, typically when a student gets to be a senior, they may take multiple trimesters, and they may be here longer. So we do have some students, whether they're in our academy program or maybe some of our seniors, that could even stay here all day. But they still are part of their home high school and will graduate from their home high school. Okay? That's a good question. Yeah, so all of our classes that you take here are high school-based courses, so they don't cost you anything. So probably where they talked about getting free lunch is probably in culinary. So once you get up to the upper level in culinary, they do a lot of cooking. And so they cook that food. Well, guess what? Somebody's got to eat it. And so they do cook and they do eat it. But you got to remember what they do. They cook. They learn a lot of different techniques in there about serve safe and the safe handling of food to make sure it's cooked to the right temperature and all those types of things. But yes, they do get to eat what they cook or what their classmates cook. So that is part of that program. But I would probably tell you, make sure that is not your reason for signing up for culinary. You better make sure you like to do dishes and the mop. I'll tell you that, okay? Was the kitchen clean? Yeah. Guess what? You better hope every kitchen is clean when you go out to eat. Okay? You better hope every kitchen is clean when you go to eat. Because if not, they're not going to have that nice number that's on the door that hopefully is in the upper 90s, like 99 or maybe even 100. Because if it's much lower than that, you may want to turn around and go to another establishment. Okay? They're very proud of the number that they have on outside their door because they keep that kitchen clean. Okay? So that if they had to, in a sense, the words eat off the floor, they could. They're not going to. But yeah, every student that is here, they signed up and they applied to get in. So I think this is where you're going. Okay? This is where the question comes from. We look very heavily upon work ethic standards. You all talk about work ethic at JT Alton? Yes, I know you do. You all, as 8th graders, have the opportunity to become work ethic certified, right? Yes, I know you do. So we look at work ethic very close. We look at 3 main categories in work ethic when we have all students from our middle schools trying to get in here, or our 3 high schools. We look at 3 characteristics in work ethic. The first one we look at is attendance. Because the best employee is the one that shows up to work every day. Okay? I promise you, the best one that shows up. You could be the best mechanic out there, but if you only show up on Mondays, guess what? You're not going to have a job come Tuesday anyway. Because they're going to get rid of you. It doesn't matter if you're the best. They want the ones that are going to show up. So attendance is a big deal for us. We want to make sure that the seat that we give you to be here at EC3 is not wasted because you don't show up. And remember, you're here for 2 periods. So if you miss a day, it's like missing 2. So it's a big deal. So attendance is looked at. The next thing we look at is behavior. Because teamwork is a major component of every job that you will ever have. Teamwork. You've got to be able to get along with others. You've got to be a good team player. And so we look at that. We bring students from 3 different high schools here. Okay, we've got to make sure everyone gets along. And the last thing that we look at, obviously, is your achievement, grades. One of the reasons we look at that is because the pathway courses, every pathway course you take are considered elective classes. You have your core classes, your math, science, English, social studies, right? Those are core classes. And then you have your elective classes. Well, elective classes go away, and we replace them with core classes again if you fail classes. Because you must have all of your core classes to graduate high school. So if you can't pass core classes, well, you're going to lose elective classes, pathway courses. So grades are another big deal that we look at. Obviously, as you get into some of our courses, we have classes that build upon each other. Here's first class, and then here's the second class. For instance, in health science, you take the principles of health science class, and then the next you'll take medical terminology and emergency procedures. If you fail principles of health science, can we put you in medical terminology and emergency procedures? No. Because you got to have all 4 courses in that pathway. That's how it works. So that's why grades are the other major component of work ethic standards that we take a look at. So it's a great question. Well, I want to thank you all for coming. Listen, you all are going to have the opportunity. I'm not sure when it's going to be. You're going to have the opportunity to tour at North Hardin as well. So if you did not see something here that sparks your interest, then maybe North Hardin has something. I can tell you this. There are some things in the works right now for future pathways. There are some things in the works for future pathways. Some of those future pathways that we're taking a look at right now, and we hope that they'll be in play for you all as you go through high school, will be public safety. That's one. What's public safety? Law enforcement. Okay, law enforcement, criminal justice. That's one that they're taking a look at. Another one that they're taking a look at right now deals with residential maintenance. HVAC, that's like your air conditioners. Electrical, plumbing, construction. Those are some others right now that are in the works. So if those are things that you're interested in, those will be available before you graduate high school. So it could be something that you jump into as well. But my biggest thing to you is find something. find something, and go after it.
I'm Jerica Johnson, and my favorite pathway here at EC3 is probably the culinary arts because, I mean, you get to bake stuff and do hands-on, like, cooking and stuff, especially the baking side. And, like, going through the kitchen is, like, a nice environment for, like, you to have, like, with your classmates and stuff and just get along with the people.
My name is Joesy Marquez, and my favorite part was the aerospace because it's very fun how you get to do a simulator and learn how to fly a plane and hopefully one day make a plane.
My name is Shelby Lance Austin Burris, and today here at EC3 I learned some very interesting things. My favorite course was the one where we got to learn a lot of stuff about programming because that's what I'm interested in, and I met some interesting people along the way. Definitely would come back.
My name is Aiden Evans, and my favorite pathway here at EC3 was the welding pathway because you can make a lot of money off that and have fun and interact with your classmates.